The man, who should have been hailed as a hero, was betrayed by the 7 comrades he trusted most. Once, 11 of the Empire's strongest warriors were sent by the Emperor to eliminate a dark force. As soon as the sealing was completed, 7 of the comrades, eager for glory, killed the other 4 to claim the honor for themselves. In the end, they succeeded in becoming the 7 great heroes. For 20 years, the Empire remained stable under the name of the 7 heroes. But beneath the calm surface, darkness began to quietly grow. The border was taken over by the monks' forces, and everyone who passed through was forced to pay high fees. Those who couldn't afford it were smuggled in, only to face death. Public executions of smugglers were held, with no mercy shown. At one such execution, a young girl hiding in a merchant's cart was discovered. Despite her youth, Lazyby ordered her execution. Just before the sentence was carried out, a silver-haired boy appeared, shouting the girl's name, Pippi, and forcefully taking her away, claiming to be her brother. Though they looked nothing alike, Lazyby decided to treat both of them as smugglers and intended to execute them. But just as Cain reached for his sword, a one-eyed man stepped in, stopping him. The man shielded the two and discreetly handed Lazyby some gold coins. Seeing this, Lazyby halted his order, and the group managed to escape. Pippi thanked them, but Cain wasn't interested, since the man had ruined his smuggling plan. The one-eyed man, who introduced himself as Buved, was straightforward, saying that no one did good deeds for free at the border. He just didn't want to get into trouble. He had seen too many kids trying to make a name for themselves by smuggling, and he teasingly called Cain a little hero. This title made Cain uncomfortable. Cain soon sensed something amiss, realizing that 13 monks were closing in. He quickly threw Pippi into a nearby canal. The monks appeared shortly after, claiming to test their morals but clearly intending to rob them. Just as they gave the order to attack, Cain drew his sword and cut down the monks in one swift motion. The swift and efficient killing stunned everyone around. Buved, now suspicious, couldn't react in time as Cain dispatched all the monks and their bodies sank into the river. Buved's attitude shifted completely. Under Buved's guidance, Cain and Pippi entered the underground city at the border and arrived at the Wanderer's home, a place that appeared to be a tavern but was actually a smuggling hub. The owner, Taya, appeared and presented her conditions. When she mentioned that if they didn't act immediately, they would miss the opportunity to pass through the border before the 7 heroes arrived, Cain's interest was finally piqued. That night, Lazyby launched a surprise attack on the tavern, and the monks surrounded the scene. Someone had betrayed them, and the witness was executed on the spot. The massacre began. Pippi was captured, but Cain dropped down from the roof and swiftly eliminated the monks. Lazyby tried to use the 7 heroes as leverage, but Cain welcomed this challenge. He spared Lazyby's life but wiped out the rest of the monks. The alarm echoed across the border. Cain decided to cross the border that very night. Looking up at the moon, he stated that the moonlight was the source of his power. Taya, moved by his words, decided to risk everything and lead them through a dangerous, secret path. Meanwhile, Lazyby had mobilized reinforcements and brought in Lango, the strongest warrior of the 7 heroes. The group entered the sewer system, but without access to the sky, Cain's power began to wane. This place had once been the lair of a dark faction, and monsters lurked in the shadows. Taya killed a goblin and led the group onward. At the central courtyard's exit, a giant goblin appeared. Taya, terrified, lost control. 3 years ago, her lover had died at the hands of this very monster. Cain drew his sword to face the beast, but his weakened power had no effect. The monster grabbed him and smashed through the structure above. He collapsed among the rubble, barely alive.